Let me show you something. You know that, right? What means no? No means on. Go on. If you are one of those salespersons that doesn't take no as an answer, be careful, because you might fall in a trap and you might commit the biggest mistake a salesperson can do. My name is Alex Valasidis. I'm an expert sales consultant and managing director of vParagon, the sales outsourcing company that can accelerate and expand your sales in Europe. Today we are going to speak about the thin red line between insisting, persisting, and begging in sales. Keep watching. Although insisting, persisting, and not taking no as an answer are virtues of a good salesperson, I would like that we take a deeper look and a more mature approach so that we understand those components of sales that are going to help us not to cross the thin red line and not turn those virtues to misadvantages and start committing the biggest mistake a salesperson can do, which is showing neediness to sell the product or service that he has. Those components are, first of all, the understanding that not everybody is going to buy the solution or the service that you are selling. Actually, a very small percentage of the people that you are going to contact is going to purchase or buy what you are selling at the end. That, of course, that percentage, of course, depends on the industry, on the product, on the service, on the sales approach in general. But I think if you are, for example, cold calling prospects and trying to convince them to choose your solution instead of another solution, I think if you can count with 1%, you can consider yourself a successful salesperson. 1% means that out of 100 people that you are going to call, one is going to buy. So those guys of you that they don't take no as an answer, be ready to hear 99 no's before you get one yes. The second thing, the second very basic component is to understand when a no is a no. And although I understand as salespeople we don't like to hear no's, however, there are many times where a no that is supported from a reasonable argument, it means a no. And if you're trying to convince somebody that comes with a reasonable argument to turn this argument to a yes, then what you do is you make yourself ridiculous and you cease to be a serious salesperson anymore. So although we don't take no as an answer, many times a no, it's a no. The third thing that we need to realize is to have the ability to understand if the person, the prospect that we are talking to, it's a potential buyer and client of the product. This needs some experience. It needs us to understand the solution and the service that we are selling and see if we are talking to the right person or not. If we have this experience and this understanding of the product, then after some screening questions, we can tell if we have a realistic chance to sell this product to this prospect. Now, how can we solve this issue? What can we practically do in order to be able to say that I am going to stand professional, I'm not going to show any neediness. I'm going to do the best possible I can in order to sell the product and stop the sale if I see nothing is going to come out of that. So my advice is this: create, before you start contacting your prospects, create what I call the rules of engagement. The rules of engagement, it's a military term, and summarized means that before a team of military people goes on an operation, before they go, they set in advance what they are going to do if scenario A happens, if scenario B happens, or scenario C happens. The same is the same thing that you are going to do as a salesperson. So before you start contacting your clients, prepare your pitch and prepare your answers and your reactions in case the client is not available, in case the client wants to speak with you next week, in case the client doesn't answer your email, and so on and so on. I personally, and my team that we are selling most of the times software solutions in Europe, we use a 5 contact approach, a 5-step contact approach. That means that we are trying to speak to our prospect 5 times. We call him. If he's not there, we call again. If he's not there, then we email him. If he's not there, we call again and we LinkedIn him, and then we call him one final 5th time, and if he's not responsive anymore, we close it. That, of course, depends on the solution, on the product, the service that you are selling, okay? Now, this gives us the ability to stay professional, not cross any line, because we were the ones that predetermined how many times we are going to contact our prospect, and gives also an end to the sales approach. And that is a very important thing that you have to realize. Many sales managers are going to tell you, no, try again a month later, try again, leave it open. No, do not leave a sales approach open. A sales approach has a start and has an end. And this start and the end of the sales approach, it's you that you define and you predetermine. It's not the prospect. You say, I'm going to call 5 times or 3 times or 7 times. You are going to be the one that is going to predetermine that. And then you close and you don't call again. If this lead is going to be used on a future project, that's a different story. But it has now a start and it has an end. Now, keep also in mind that sales is something that requires soft skills. So what I'm telling you, it's not written down in stone. Of course, if you feel there is a genuine interest from your prospect and he postpones because something happened in his life, because he really didn't have the time, then of course call him 1 or 2 times more. But keep in mind, you start a sale and you end a sale. Never be needy, never beg to sell a product. Thanks for watching.